A good dirt bike maintenance is very important, doesn't cost a lot and can save you $1,000 long term. Today I'm gonna show you how I do $4 oil change on my dirt bikes. Hey, what's up guys, Rado here, and I'm gonna talk about the most important part of your maintenance is the oil change. And today we're gonna change the oil on my KX250 4-stroke together. I did a video about the maintenance a couple years ago, and there was a lot of guys commenting telling me that I don't have so much money to do the oil changes that often, because I told them that you need to do oil change on your bike every 4 to 6 hours, depends how you ride and what kind of bike you have. And as I said, I got a lot of comment people telling me they don't have money to do such a frequent oil changes, and I want to tell you, man, it's not expensive at all. So I want to share a little trick with you, and I keep saying this for like many years. You saw it on my Instagram as well. This is the oil I use. This is a heavy-duty diesel engine oil, and some people will freak out. You put diesel oil in the dirt bikes. It's not a big deal. This is a really good oil that has everything you need to have for your high performance engine in a dirt bike. It's a high compression engine. Just think about all those diesel engines, the semi trucks, you know, pulling all those heavy loads. The diesel engine has a high compression. There is no spark to ignite that fuel. Everything is done by compression, right, in the diesels. So this is really good for the high compression engines we have, and it has all the additives and everything you need to have for your clutch, for the engine, for everything. And this is not something that I came up with. You know, I've been around the dirt bikes now for like 9 years, 8 years, but people who've been around the bikes for 30 years, 40 years, they use the same stuff. They also recommended it to me, and more I talk to other people and more I see that a lot of people is using this oil. So this is 1 gallon Shell Rotella that I paid maybe $13 for. And if I do the math, I can do 4 oil changes, roughly, and a little bit short. So roughly it's $4 for the oil change. This bike, this is a KX250, takes about 1,000 milliliters, it's 1 liter for 1 oil change without the filter. And when you use the filter, it's a little bit more than that. So today we're gonna do the oil change. We're not gonna change the filter because I did that last time. So okay, if you need to change the filter, then the price doubles because the filter is around $4 or $5. You just can use the paper filter. There are a bunch of brands you can buy. You don't have to go for the most expensive. They all pretty much do the same job. And then the oil around $4, $5. You are always below $10 for the oil change. So that's less than 2 gallons of gas. That's less than 1 lunch. That's less than some fancy coffee with your wife or girlfriend or something like that. So it's not a lot of money, and it's the cheapest insurance you can have for your bike. 2022 KX250 with 29 hours on, and since the last oil change is about 6 hours, and that's only because last time I was at the track I felt really good and I rode over 2 hours. So normally I will do oil change 4 hours, 5 hours. This time it's going to be 6 hours. So I'm gonna show you how the oil actually looks after the 6 hours of normal riding on a track. The engine is completely cold. You probably noticed I didn't start the bike and didn't rev it. Some people will say that you need to start it and you need to warm it up so you have your oil nice and warm. You know, I don't really think so. It's been sitting like this for a couple days, so that means that all the oil is on the bottom of the engine. You don't have it everywhere in the engine. Everything came down to the bottom of the engine. Plus, it's a warm day. I'm sweating in the garage, so this oil is warm enough. It's liquidy enough to come out, and it's just much easier. You're not waiting for all the oil that is everywhere in the engine. Before we take out the drain bolt, we're gonna open this filling plug right here, so the air will allow us to get all the oil out nicely. 12mm socket, and take out the drain bolt. Alright guys, here you go. So this is how the oil looks after 6 hours. Definitely much different than when I put it in. It's dark, and at this point I think it's even a little too late for the oil change. It would be better if I could catch it maybe 1 hour before this. So next time you do oil change, just track your oil changes and see the hours. So next time you do oil change, do it a little bit before it turns like this. Let it flow like that, and then lean the bike on the other side and make sure everything goes out. And after that, what I do, I will cover the kill switch and then I will hit the starter a little bit to make sure that all the oil from the oil pump and everywhere will come out. I'm gonna let it flow like that a little bit for a couple minutes, and then important thing is to take out the strainer. We're not doing the filter today, but we are doing the strainer every single time you do the oil change. So we take out the oil strainer, we clean it, blow with some contact cleaner, make sure it's nice and clean, and then install it back. This is the strainer on the KX. It's a little bit different than on some other bikes, but it's not rocket science to find it. Get the screw out, and then get the needle nose pliers and pull the cover out with the strainer. Screw is out. Here's the strainer. We're gonna clean it nice and put it back. Now at this point you can also lean the bike this way to make sure that all the oil will come out from there. That's looking pretty good. I don't see any metal shavings. It's nice and clean. We can spray a little bit also inside in the hole. And then lean it on us to get all the excess out. Push the strainer back in. Align the hole. Just like that. Click, it's in. And then before I install this little screw back, I'm gonna put a little bit of a grease on it. So the next time I'm taking it out, it will be a nice and easy job. And don't over tighten this one. Just go a little bit, maybe like a spark plug. There you go. Here's my drain bolt and a washer. This is aluminum washer. It's still in pretty good shape. If it gets deformed too much, then it's good to replace it. But for now, we're gonna go back with this one and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna put a little bit of grease on the drain bolt as well. You put the drain bolt back, and again, when you tighten these, just be gentle. Just go a little bit like that. I think we're good. We're gonna need 1,000 milliliters for the oil change. This is the measuring cup from the kitchen, and it works perfectly fine for everything I need here. Right here is 1,000 milliliter or 1 liter. We're gonna fill it up with T4 shell rotella. This is conventional, not synthetic. It is conventional 15W40. That's what I use. It's good for clutches. It doesn't slip. Clutches like it. For a long time, Recluse actually had it on their website, recommending it as the best oil with their clutches. So it's really good stuff. Right, we'll fill it up to 1,000. You know, every bike is a little bit different. We are running a bigger Hinson clutch cover on that KX, so it does take a little bit more oil. So we figured that 1,000 milliliters is a good amount. If you guys are running a different clutch cover that has slightly bigger capacity, it's always good to have more oil in your engine. So the best way to figure it out, you take old clutch cover, put it down on your bench, take new one, put it down next to it, and then fill it up with water. And after that, take some cup like this or something maybe a little bit smaller and pour the water in a cup and measure the volume of both clutch covers. And then you will see the difference. It might be 20 milliliters, might be 30 milliliters, and then just add that number, the difference on your oil change number, maybe 1,000, so 1,030 or something like that, and you're good to go. Get your funnel, make sure it's clean, and fill it up. You see how clean the oil is right now? And you remember how it looked when we took out the old oil? So you can see the difference, and you can see how well used that 6 hours old oil actually was. It's time to put the bolt back on, but before I do that, I'll do a little bit of grease here as well. You know, like that, it's always easy to take it out. You don't run into unnecessary problems. Use a little bit of grease when you put your stuff back like this. Right on. Alright my friends, and this is how I do $4 oil change on my 4-stroke dirt bikes. And 2-strokes are actually even a little bit cheaper because you never need to use the filter and the amount of the oil is a little bit smaller. 4-strokes are very sensitive on the oil because one oil is everywhere. In your clutch, in your transmission, on your crank, on your piston, it's everywhere. So you want to make sure that that oil is nice and clean. In a 2-stroke, the crank is getting fresh oil every single time the fuel enters the engine, so it's a little bit different story. But even on a 2-stroke, I wouldn't go maybe over 10 hours. And that all depends how you ride. If you go trail riding, then I think maybe 8-10 hours is fine. But if you keep it wide open on a track, some 125s, then I'll pretty much keep the same 4 to 6 hours intervals for those bikes as well. Alright my friends, so that's about it for today. Hopefully you picked up a couple tips. Don't forget to comment below, hit that like, and whatever you do, stay motivated. See you guys later.